What's up, guys? Keith Trades Day, July 29th, and an absolute monster winning day. Ended up calling one short in the AM. Caesar called it a little bit at higher entry. I called a continuation short as well in the lunch hour. Caesar called the long reversal. And then I traded a PM short, and that also delivered as well. So plenty of wins to go over. Pre-market plan was not right at all. But testimonial-wise, you can see Caesar cashed out. I cashed out, and then I took my PM win, and then Caesar also made a lot more money. And then we have some members who sent stuff in the VIP chat. But pre-market plan was pretty simple. So it ripped all-time high. I was looking at the 4-hour fair value gaps. I said if we could resweep and find them buying, I'd look longs. We sold straight through them. I said for a short, I want to see a 5 and 15-minute break, clear aggressive sellers to target the 1-hour fair value gaps and the 4 hours below. So coming into the structure for the day, we know that we swept out previous day's high. We know a clear target can be previous day's low. Coming in on the 4-hour time frame, we had that 4-hour fair value gap here, and we also had a 4-hour fair value gap here, and then we had another one here. Coming in on the 1 hour, we had sell side levels resting this low, at this low, and then we had levels here, levels here. Coming into the open, we absolutely ripped the all-time high, and then there was a nice short trade. So my first trade being a personal setup. Again, we wanted the inverse 5-minute, which ended up coming in nicely, but we just did not get the exact close we wanted. So I played a scalp here. Once I saw that we inversed it, and once this candle popped up and flipped aggressively, I grabbed a short scalp with just my stop at the high, and then I played for about 14 points, about 280 bucks down to the 4-hour. And then we delivered that 4-hour. And here comes my first model. We deliver the 4-hour, what do? We chop a little bit, we hold it. A little bit of riskier setup here, but we have a 5-minute fair value gap, a classic model for us. Caesar called his short at the 5-minute fair value gap. As we can see the live trade, he said, I'll look for shorts if we inverse the 5-minute bullish. I was saying the same thing as well in the chat. Not interested today, right? In the 5-minute bullish, right? Other than that, I'm not interested today. Like, we are just hovering near the all-time high, right? So he's looking for shorts. Then he said, hoping we form a bearish 5 to try to look for an entry there. That was the bearish 5-minute that closed your entry. So Caesar ended up calling out his short at that 5-minute gap here. I stayed a little bit more patient. If you would have taken this trade, fine. He had his TPs resting lower, and it absolutely ripped. I called for a tight trade, which is at the inverse here. Inversed, short entry, and then scale point here for 22 points. And then the rest would have got out break even. But that was pretty much it for the AM. Nice. We could have got one win here or took the win here. Coming into what I wanted to see, I called another little model. Let me find that proof there. Right, I said 450 to 436, there's sell side there. It should be short continuation there. Right, that was my 8:39 AM. Right, so I said, right, 450s, 436 area, we have these targets here, and I also called for previous day's low as well. That did not get met, and that was my trade that I took in the PM. So here we go. We know we have the sell side here, sell side here, sell side here, right? What are those targets? That is a 1-hour low, a 1-hour low, and previous day's low. Again, the same exact model played. It's not very apparent on MNQ, but on NQ, it's much more clear that we had this small 5-minute fair value gap right here. Very, very small. Very small. So not a lot of confluence for this, but when we are selling through 4-hour and 1-hour bearishes, right, we're selling, bullishes, we sold straight through, we know this is a likely hunt. So at 8:39, I said should be short continuation. And that's very simple, right? 8:39 is right here. That is going to be your inverse entry short. Boom or boom, and then you caught about 30 to 36 points, and then the rest would have got break even, as we did not deliver fully, but it probably would have been stop and profit. But that was that next call out, and then Caesar called the flip side of that. He said we could find buy at 442 or 437, another key level I have, possible reversal of the level hold. There's the tap. Let's see if we find buying. And what do we see at 442, 437? Right, 442 is here. And then 437 is a little bit lower, right? These were his key levels he had that he called out. And what can you see after that? And look at it. Ridiculous. Entry here, very little drawdown, absolute ripper. 77 points. His full TP he called was 22. So if he would have had to hold it, it would have ended up hitting around here. And this was my narrative for that next setup. So this is a personal trade. I did call it out in the PM, but it was just me and Caesar live. So this was just me executing on my phone. And it's very simple. We swept out these highs. We failed to find buying. Right? It was me and Caesar in the chat. And I said, if we get that inverse 5 and 15-minute model, I'm going to play the short. Right? Told him that. So we swept out and we did what? Inversed 5-minute and also inverse 15-minute gap. So I played a little bit different entry. I ended up first grabbing my entry around here, around 76, a very small position size here. And I had a pretty high stop loss at 507. So you can see I almost got stopped out. But again, this was a set and forget trade. So I entered here, and then I had a limit order set here. So I added some more here. Right? And I almost got stopped out. But I was confident in the longs, and we just ended up generating a bunch of sell side here. And then obviously my targets were very simple. My first target for this trade was my scale break even at this low, and then my full TP being the previous day's low here. And we can see we got the deliver end of day. A little bit choppy, a little slow, but we ended up, defending the 5 and 15-minute inverse very well. And again, I did not stress. I was not stressing, but I did not really care about this trade because I wasn't watching it. I entered here. I went to the gym. My limit got filled here. My targets were already set, and I just let it play out. And we ended up hitting nicely end of day. And that's what closed me out, up $800 in profit, about a 40-point trade. But again, that is going to be it for today. A little choppy, a little tough, but when you stay disciplined for your areas of interest, when you let the market show you where it wants to go, you have your targets, you can make very great money in any market. That's going to be it for July 29th. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you want to join the Discord, we have a link in the bio. I'll be happy to have any and all new members. But until next time, guys, peace out.